And once again, good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don back in here with you, a little more prepared this time than we were earlier this morning when we had those thunderstorms blow up across East Alabama and West Georgia. It is 9:59 a.m., 10 a.m. on the central side of the time zone. 11 a.m. over on the eastern side on May 18th, 2025, and thought I'd jump back in here and kind of give you a little update on what happened this morning, where we are now, and where we may go this afternoon and even into the middle part of next week. First of all, let me show you the latest graphic from the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, and you can see in the southeast there are two areas of slight risk. That one in East Alabama and West Georgia was for this morning, and that goes without saying. We had a very strong line of thunderstorms move through East Alabama, West Georgia. It's over in middle or southwest Georgia now, wreaking havoc down there. Multiple reports of trees down across many counties in East Alabama and West Georgia. I've seen reports of trees on homes. There are multiple power outages all across East Alabama and West Georgia. It's going to be a long Sunday for the utility companies, and a lot of you are going to be cleaning your yards up today because of all the debris that's left from this line of storms that moved through this morning. You'll also notice back over in Mississippi, across northwest Mississippi into east central Arkansas, there's another area of slight severe thunderstorm risk, and we do have some strong thunderstorms over there right now. I think this complex takes more of the northerly track, maybe along and north of the I-20 corridor in Alabama, and potentially even in Georgia late this afternoon and this evening. So right now, the atmosphere really got raked over good this morning across East Alabama and West Georgia, so I don't really anticipate another round of significant severe weather today, but you'll notice that all of north and central Alabama and a good chunk of north and central Georgia is highlighted under a marginal risk of severe weather for the remainder of today. So it is possible we could see more thunderstorms this afternoon, though I don't think, if we do, I don't think that we will see as much significant weather as what we saw this morning, and I believe the area of focus would be along and north of the I-20 corridor. But again, we'll have to watch this as it evolves throughout the day. It's quite possible that we can't recover from this morning storm in time enough to get some instability going, so we may not see storms at all this afternoon. Very conditional, and we'll have to watch this one real close as we go throughout the rest of your Sunday. So after we make it past today, that was this morning. This graphic has now become outdated. But after we make it past today, then on Tuesday into Tuesday night, maybe into early Wednesday morning, we have another risk of severe weather in Alabama and West Georgia. And this would be for damaging winds and large hail. You'll see that we have a level 3, which is an enhanced risk of severe weather across northwest Alabama. Then we have that moderate risk, or slight risk, I should say, across central Alabama, places like Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, Anniston, maybe down into extreme northern Clay. It does get Cleburne and Calhoun. And then for most of our coverage area across East Alabama and West Georgia, it would be a slight risk. Again, this would be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We'll have to keep an eye on this as we go throughout the next couple of days as well. Let's run over to the radar right quick. And I'll show you what's left of the system we dealt with early this morning. And it's now moving down into middle and south Georgia. No question, the strongest part of the storm at the moment is going to be from about Dublin, Georgia, back to Americus. And then we see a little bit still in Alabama, extreme southern Lee County down into the Columbus area. down there in Columbus, or just south of Columbus, and just southeast of Tuskegee. We have some cells there. But the part of the storm that's being warned for at this hour, no doubt, is well into Georgia. We're talking about Americus, back up toward Perry, Georgia, and back over toward Dublin and down to Eastman. The heaviest part of this storm now just south of Warner Robins, just south of Perry. You know where the fairgrounds are, right there in Perry. The heaviest part of this just south of that point. And this is moving to the south-southeast. So for the remainder of the day, this storm system is going to be a South Georgia issue. Across East Alabama and West Georgia, we're looking pretty good. We have a very, very small cell trying to get organized up in extreme northwest Randolph County. And then maybe in southern Carroll, northern Heard, we're seeing a little bit develop there as well. This is in the wake of this morning storm. These storms should not go severe, but we will keep an eye on them just in case we get something wonky going on here. It's always possible. But just to the northwest of Forester's Crossroads, southwest of Pine Tucky and Randolph County, just to the west of Highway 431, just east of Delta, we have a cell that's trying to get going there. And then over in West Georgia, pretty much the same thing. Up there on 48 between Woodland and Bucktown, and then also just south of Tyus, or just to the northwest of Roosterville. Straddling the Heard County, Carroll County line, we have a storm there. Very small and nothing like what we saw earlier this morning across East Alabama and West Georgia. Now, we did have a tremendous number of trees and power lines come down when this line of storms that's in middle Georgia moved through East Alabama and West Georgia a couple of hours ago. And as we take a look at the outage map at the moment, you can see there on the right the amount of power outages, and you can follow the track of the storm. I mean, it's very easy to see exactly where the storm tracked across central Alabama. And if you'll bear with me just a second, Randolph, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find, there it is. Randolph County currently has 3,558 customers without power. That's out of 17,934 that are tracked. So Randolph County there with a large number of power outages continuing at this hour across Randolph. We go up to Cleburne County, only 75 without power there. Calhoun County has 484. Talladega County has 5,851 without power. So Talladega certainly with most of the power outages being reported at this hour. Clay County has 1,714 without power. Tallapoosa County, 485. Chambers County has 1,100 without power at this hour. Lee County, 75 people without power. That's in Alabama. And to bear with me just a moment, we'll see if we can get the Georgia map up here. And, of course, it wants to be ornery. Give me just a second, though. We can get to it. Okay, I can't get the graphic up there, but I can tell you. All right, so Heard County at this hour has got 831 power outages. Troup County has 1,159 without power. Harris County has 869. Meriwether County with 330. And Coweta County with only 28. So it's very easy to track the path of this storm across the state of Alabama and into Georgia this morning. So let me go back to the radar, see some whatabouts up there. I can tell you that if you're in Alabama, the threat of severe weather is over. If you're in West Georgia, the threat of significant severe weather is over. I got a what about up there for Beauregard. Now, Beauregard, you're seeing a lot of stuff down there just to your south. And that is moving away from you, so there should be no issues down there at Beauregard. That's moving towards South Columbus. And again, the only thing we're seeing right now is a couple of small cells in northern Randolph, just to the west of Newell, up there north of Wedowee. And then in southern Carroll County, south of Roopville, south of Bucktown, right on the Carroll County, Heard County line, north of Central Hatchie. We have a couple of small cells there. All of this stuff moving off to the east-southeast this morning. So at the moment, nothing to worry about across the Dr. Don coverage area of East Alabama and West Georgia. We look back over into Mississippi, and let me switch to the Columbus radar. And you'll notice what's going on here basically between Columbus and Memphis. This is another complex of thunderstorms. And while there's a lot of rain up there around Oxford and points north, there's only one area right now that has significant severe weather ongoing near Water Valley, Mississippi, near Bruce, Mississippi, Coffeyville, if you're familiar with any of these places. That's where the heaviest severe weather is taking place at the moment over in the state of Mississippi. Now, if this continues moving off to the east, I'll put this in motion. It'll take a second to load, and you can kind of get a sense for the direction that this is moving. And we may not be able to get much of a loop going here because I just clicked on that site. It takes a minute to load all of the volume scans. It's very slow. But, well, there we go. That's a little better look at it. And this is moving pretty much due east across northern Mississippi with most of it confined from Winona, Mississippi, all the way up to Memphis and then moving to the east. You'll notice that front up there. That's a stationary front that stretches from Pine Bluff, Arkansas to just south of Memphis and then across southern Tennessee, right along the Tennessee-Alabama state line, and then the Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina state line. So the focus of this activity, we think, is going to stay relatively close to this stationary front as it moves from west to east. So while there could be some development to the south of this, I think the majority of it is going to stay north of the I-20 corridor as it moves across the state of Alabama in something similar to that fashion right there. So, again, we've had so many storms across central Alabama, east Alabama, west Georgia this morning. The atmosphere has really been churned up and disrupted, and I think it's going to be kind of hard to get more significant severe to develop south of that white line. But with this complex in the hood, and we've got some heating of the day going on, we can't completely rule out the possibility of a few more strong storms across East Alabama and West Georgia, especially as we get into the peak heating of the afternoon. So we'll watch that very closely for you, and we'll come back and go wall to wall if need be. But a lot of you are out there trying to clean up this morning because that storm system that moved across Alabama and Georgia was a very strong storm system that has left a lot of damage in its wake all across central Alabama, east Alabama, and West Georgia, and we have ongoing severe weather from that same complex, basically south of Macon now, over in the state of Georgia. Numerous number of trees down across the entire area, and of course, power outages all across East Alabama and West Georgia. We just gave you an update from the National Power Outage Map website that all of you can go to, by the way. Just Google National Power Outage Map, and you'll find it. And it's good information. They're pretty fast on updating that. But you can certainly follow that storm all across Alabama and then into Georgia by just simply looking at the power outages that have occurred with this storm system this morning. So just thought I'd jump back in and kind of give you an update. I had to leave you pretty abruptly earlier. We had a mountain rescue up here in northeast Georgia. I had to go monitor. I did not have to deploy on that one. It turned out to be a relatively simple rescue, thank goodness, and everybody's okay. So I thought I'd jump back in and just kind of pick up where we left off and give you an update on where we are right now. Well, good morning, Kim. Thank you for those kind words. There's one thing for sure. There's hardly ever a dull moment in my life. You know, sometimes I would just like to go sit down in my recliner and turn the world off. But very seldom do I have that opportunity, and that's okay. I know what I signed up for, and I don't have a problem with it at all. Bonnie's reporting that there are some trees down in Woodland from this morning's storm that moved through. And I think we're going to see that. I know we're going to see that all across East Alabama and West Georgia. I've just seen numerous reports of trees down, roads blocked, power lines. There's been quite a few reports of trees on homes as well. That's caused a lot of damage this morning. Haven't heard of any injuries, and that's good. But this storm system made a mess as it moved through Alabama and Georgia earlier this morning. Jennifer says it got bad in Standing Rock with hail, high winds, and power outage in some areas. Power outages in Troup County, which is where LaGrange is at. I mentioned that earlier. Well, hello, Pamela, watching us in Middletown, Ohio. Says that her son and family live in Wadley, Alabama. Well, Pamela, I can relate. I have a son and family that lives in Wadley, Alabama as well. Actually, the Corinth community, just north of Wadley. So I understand your necessity to watch Dr. Don's weather because, quite honestly, this is the only place you're going to get any weather information for Wadley, Alabama. So be sure you bookmark us. Be sure you follow us. Be sure you subscribe to us on Facebook. Folks, that's a great way to follow us here on Dr. Don's Weather. Subscribe to us on Facebook. Now, it does cost 99 cents a month. I mean, what in the world will we do? 99 cents a month. That's less than $12 a year. And 100% of that comes back to support us here at Dr. Don's Weather. So please be sure you do that. That helps us out tremendously. There's just a ton of cost involved in all of this. And, we want to be able to bring you the same level of trusted weather information as the major television markets provide for their areas. And that's what our goal is here on Dr. Don's Weather, is we're not just a fly-by-night, Monday morning quarterback-type weather service. I mean, we do this right. Anybody that knows me knows that's the way I do things. If I can't do it the way it needs to be done, then even though I want to do it, I ain't gonna. because if I can't do it the right way, I'm just not going to do it. So we have a lot of subscription cost on the back end to be able to monitor this and be able to do it the way that we do. So every chance you get to support us, we ask that you do so. And subscribing to us on Facebook is a fabulous way to subscribe to us. It's not going to break anybody's bank. If we could just get, if we could just get 15 or 20% of our followers to do that, then we could do some amazing things, even more so than what we're already doing. And that's where we want to go. So please take a moment to subscribe to us on Facebook. There's a link at the top of our Facebook page. There's a link at the top of this video. There's a link at the top of everything we post on Dr. Don's Weather that has multiple different website links there for different things, and subscribing to us on Facebook is one of those links. You can also go over to our weather store, pick up, we've got Dr. Don t-shirts, we've got What About shirts, we have got Thunder Buddies. You guys who are following us in here, you're a Thunder Buddy. And we'd love to have a Thunder Buddy up in Middletown, Ohio, walking around wearing a Dr. Don t-shirt. That's cool. And those proceeds come back to support us as well. So go to our weather store. You can get the 2025 Boondocks Hurricane Party t-shirt. It's there. We'll be back in Randolph County on May 31st at Boondocks. We'll be broadcasting live starting at around 10 a.m. on Saturday, May 31st. And we'll continue through 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so it's a hurricane party. Now, and you folks down there in Florida, Alabama, Gulf Coast, Mississippi, you know what a hurricane party is. But I've had a surprisingly number of people up here in North Georgia and across East Alabama and West Georgia. What's a hurricane party? It's an excuse to get together and socialize and have a good time. That will mark the beginning of hurricane season. Actually starts on June 1st. So May 31st, last year it was actually on June 1st, but this year it's May 31st, that Saturday. We're going to all fall out in Boondocks, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to enjoy some great food, friend, and fellowship. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'd like for you to show up in your Boondocks Hurricane Party shirt, which you can get over on our weather store. So that's kind of where we are. Let me recap one more time, and we're not going to stay live right now because if we see any more severe weather today, again, I think it will be along and north of the I-20 corridor, though we'll be watching Mississippi with interest to kind of see how things evolve over there through the next couple of hours. But you'll notice that we do have a large complex of storms now from about Memphis, Tennessee, down to Winona, Mississippi. Moving off to the east. The storms this morning had a little bit of a southeast component to them. These storms in Mississippi now are moving almost due east. And that will move across North Alabama and probably make it even through North Georgia later on this afternoon. Now, out ahead of that, we are beginning to see some small, I call them popcorn storms. They just little really small storms that are developing, but you'll notice they're not growing in size. Let me just go in on Randolph for a good example here, what I'm talking about. And you'll see that storm right there. It's fluctuating, but it's just not getting any bigger. And then actually when it gets into East Alabama, about to move into West Georgia, it starts to fade out a little bit. So I think really the atmosphere just doesn't have much left to offer for severe weather here in East Alabama in the wake of the storms we had this morning. So I think we're going to have a hard time getting a large number of severe storms going over here in East Alabama. But we're going to watch this for you very closely. A lot of folks outside cleaning up their yards, so be weather aware. If you start to hear thunder, it's time to head inside. And, of course, we will be back in here with you if conditions warrant. And we'll have more coverage for you on Dr. Don's Weather. The hope is I don't talk to you anymore today, and the next time I'll see you will be first thing tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast as we kick off your next work week. We'll keep you updated here on Dr. Don's Weather. Be safe out there. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll see you either later on today or hopefully first thing tomorrow morning on Dr. Don's Weather. Have a great Sunday.